Preparations are underway for around 24 people to spend 4 weeks in an intensive study program at the Vatican Observatory. The initiative marks a return of the Vatican Observatory Summer School. It had been held every 2 years since 1986 before being paused during the pandemic. The program resumes next June. Those lucky enough to be selected will spend a month at the Vatican learning from world-renowned astronomers. Joining us now is Chris Graney, astronomer and historian of science with the Vatican Observatory. Chris, welcome back. Great to see you again. Can you tell us a little bit more about the summer school and who it's open to and where, students can apply? Where do they come from?
So, yeah, the Vatican Observatory Summer School was started back in 1986 under the then director, Father George Coyne, who was director for most of the time when during the papacy of Pope John Paul II. And he and another astronomer, Father Martin McCarthy, had the idea of a school for advanced students. So these will be, for example, seniors in college or early students in graduate school who are planning on pursuing a career in astronomy or astrophysics. And so it's open to, all of those, all those students. We try to limit the number of students from each country, usually like 2 maximum, so you get a very wide variety of people there, and so the students come from all over the world. And you see some photos that are taken of the summer schools. It's a very global group of young astronomers that come to the summer school, and oftentimes, it hasn't happened every time, but most of the time they end up getting an audience with the Pope as well, which is it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Can you talk to us about, maybe some of the things that students will learn? And also, I'm curious, has the summer school, has it changed at all since it began back in 1986?
So, it's changed with with the times and the subject, and of course the technology that would be used in the discussions. But it is focused on astronomy. So, for example, different topics have been galaxies or star clusters, water in the solar system, chemistry in the universe. This summer school is on learning the universe through big data. So that's the focus this year. It's very astronomy focused. So if you think about the Vatican Observatory Summer School, this is a school on astronomy for astronomy students that the Vatican Observatory hosts, and and then they have a fun components. They go to historical sites. Some years ago there was a transit of Venus. They were able to observe that. So it's not all time in a lecture. There's lots of interaction time and sightseeing and things like that as well.
Well, it sounds like it's just a blast for the students and really educational too. I want to switch gears here slightly. I'm sure obviously we've all seen those amazing images from the James Webb Space Telescope. Can you tell us, just how important these images are, and also what do we hope to learn from this project?
So the images are quite important. The James Webb Space Telescope there's actually a connection to the Vatican Observatory Summer School with the James Webb Space Telescope, in that a couple of the scientists who are involved in making those infrared cameras that are on that telescope, George and Marcia Reiki, were formerly instructors at I think it's like the 1993 or something like that Vatican Observatory Summer School. And this telescope is going to let us see all kinds of things we have not yet learned, especially insofar as looking back to the very early universe, because as the universe has expanded, the wavelengths of light in the universe have stretched, and so this is why this is the focus of this telescope is in the infrared, which allows us to see these very early galaxies and stars in the universe.
And Chris, before I let you go, something very exciting happening in just a few days when we look up to the heavens. Let's talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, the Perseid meteor shower, which has an interesting Catholic connection. So the Perseid meteor shower peaks around August 12th. It has a folk name of the Tears of St. Lawrence. I actually believe that sort of average Catholics are some of the first people to recognize the periodicity of meteor showers, in that they recognized that around the feast of St. Lawrence there was all these meteors, and they got the Tears of St. Lawrence because St. Lawrence was martyred through being burned, and so these were his fiery tears that rained down around the time of his feast day every year. And so this is it's a little bit of lore, a little bit of astronomy. It's another cool connection between the church and science on sort of a folklore level. And anyone can go see them. You have to go out in the dark sky and look up.
Yeah, it's so exciting. And Chris, thank you so much. Love speaking with you. Every time you come on, we learn something new. So thank you so much.